Thoughts are gone, thoughts don't care. Ghosts in my head, thoughts that tear. F941239 branded on my file before I was 5 years clear. They all said the same shit. Better not tell, kid, it'll get way worse in here. Even the real kids whispering threats while their parents steer. Born in a folder, no crib, just a case number and a hearing date. Pills crushed in my juice, respiratory waves turning toddlers into a court case. F943 anxiety, F90.0 separation ink they used to label me. Now those same codes turned into calibers, letters load the AR-15. 5156 for the panic attacks, 9 for the snakes, 223 for the mess they made. Leave me alone. This is perfect Christian home. Still feel your husband's hands on my neck. Leave me alone. Night shift worker, keys rattling while you're proud of the heart. Leave me alone. Caseworker with the crocodile tears. You got paid while I starved through it all. Starved through it all. Reunification real. Level 2, bounce like trash. Learning roles in every house they make you feel. Level 3, chameleon bag, never unpacked. Visible just enough to eat. Level gray, master read a lie in the blink. Route around rules in the street. Level 5, invisible state on ghost file. Too thick for any worker to read. Sleeping fragments, exits mapped. Made it out so low they know you a different breed. We the invisibles. No feelings left, just facts and mathematics. Hypervigilant, heart rate flat, rifle fluent, pistol fully automatic. Grown now, pulling up, packing. Only lesson we kept is right from wrong. Now wrong, get it corrected. 30 round hymns in a real dark song. F94 through a 5 pop 6. F93 to a full auto switch. F94 to reactive. That's why the AR twitch. 9 millis for the snakes that smile in your face. 223s for the nights they said this hurts me more while they finish the chase. Every code they wrote, every caliber, every lie became around. Every better not tell turned into a reason. We outside right now. Seen kids get walked out the back at 3 a.m. Staff pockets fat, no sound. One phone call, file closed, another invisible. Never found. They pray we don't de-lock forever or read the barrel in despair. But the ones who survive remember every smell, every room, every stair. Thoughts are gone, thoughts aren't care. Ghost in my head, thoughts that tear. They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids, pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
I'm trying to make sure you guys are chill.
That was good. That was really good. I tell you what, it sucks trying to find all my stuff. I'm trying to find it. I can't find half the shit.
Hey, Daddy, get
I'm
away
like,
from
wow,
me.
this thing's not looking at me right.
Hey, we don't talk about
Little wins.
You're muffled too.
let me down. Let me down.
Why am I muffled?
I don't know. So while you fix your TV screen or whatever you got going on there and you're muffling, I want to come out and apologize to all our viewers because I feel like I brought Dave Weigel into a good community. And I had no idea, right? Until he started coming on the show. And then people were telling me he's doing drugs, he's abusing women, he's stealing from these women. He's using this as a dating site. Well, I always give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And I always say that people show their true colors. And he sure did. Okay. He showed us who he really was. But I feel bad and I want to apologize to all our viewers because had I known that, I would have never involved him with our group because I'm not that reckless and I'm not that careless. So I do apologize and thank you. But for me, I felt the need to apologize to everybody because Darren didn't know him. I introduced him to Darren. So therefore, I did this and I appreciate that. You had the floor now, Darren.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to make this thing find me.
You're trying to
Whatever.
make it what?
The camera is being not good right now. I don't understand why it's not. It's trying to. I'm trying to get it to see me. I want it to see me for who I am. Like I should be able to just stand up and it should be up here. I don't know why it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, like we can see from your eyes down.
Right. You can see my chin.
It's a little bit higher than that.
Right.
Go back a little bit more.
This damn thing. Anyway. Yeah. So that's that. I think that's good enough for everything. I think that it behooves us to even continue on with this.
Correct.
I think well, who's next?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh
They
my.
found me.
Oh my. Let's see here. What do you guys? Oh, you know what? Let's have an in the box day. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have an in the box day? Nice light day of you guys that watch the show. Come in here and tell us what you've got going on. So I'll put the link up. And let's see what everybody has to say. We'll do that today. So here's the link. And you get. All right. So I know 2 minutes isn't quite enough. So we'll give you 4 minutes. 4 minutes of comments in the box. There's the link right there. So whatever you guys got to say, come on in. We'll bring you in, and you got 4 minutes to discuss with us what we've got going on, or what you've got going on, or whatever you want to talk about. But you got 4 minutes for it. So that's it. Oh no, Dr. Death lost his appeal. Oh man, that's a bummer. Oh, Onyx in the house, Black Daddy, right there. Here he is. Let's see who else we got here. I'm not even gonna. But that's funny. That's funny. All right. So whoever wants to come in, we will wait for you to arrive. So what'd you do this weekend, Tiff?
Well, not much of anything because over here we had upper respiratory infections, ear infections, sinus infections, and throwing up. So not much.
Sounds like the typical flu season stuff.
Yes.
With that goes away, hopefully winter will get taken away with it too.
God, I hope so. I'm so for winter.
Oh, winter sucks.
Yeah. What did you do?
Well, I didn't go home.
Oh, no shit.
So get this. So they boarded up our house today.
Oh, wow.
So I immediately responded to them saying, you do this 2 weeks after we do this, but now we need to get in and get our stuff and do all that. And well, they want a war, so we're gonna give them a war. I guess.
Wow.
You know, like these times aren't hard enough, and then they're gonna sit there and they're gonna fight with you about you getting your belongings or what you can salvage out of it.
That's horrible.
And all this time, they give you 2 days to get your whole life out of a place. You got to organize storage. You got to organize people. You got to organize all this shit. And then they said, "Oh, Monday morning." So I sent them the thing on Saturday. So they have until 5 o'clock tonight to make their decision whether to unboard the house or whatever. but it needs to be done. Like they should have done that at the beginning, because how do we know what has been looted or what was destroyed? You know what I mean? They never let us in after that fire. So how do you know what's looted or destroyed over what's been stolen?
Right.
The fire department was going to take, if the town and the fire department were going to take responsibility for that place, and they should have secured it then. So they took over it by their little placards and everything, but they didn't secure it. So how much of our shit's missing in there, you know?
Well, did you tell them to go ahead and make the mortgage payment while they were at it?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Finish
Yeah.
paying the taxes and all of that shit. They should.
That's right. That's right.
But the thing that's crazy is we have 3 acres, and they're saying that we can't go on any of the property.
Uh-oh.
So
Hold on. I'll be right back.
So yeah, you guys, and it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how much these places want to fight you on all of this stuff. You know, that's how I began my fight in CPS, because I didn't believe that this would be what would happen when they came and CPS comes for your kid. And then all of a sudden they did, and I said, holy shit, and I found out that there was millions of others. Now is there millions of others out there too that their houses burned down, and this is how they get treated? They get treated like shit. No help from any of the organizations. You know, all this like, oh, we're going to do this and this. Red Cross, we're thankful for what they did, but they gave us $700 for 3 people. Here you go. A whole lifetime gone, literally gone. And they say, here you go. I'm thankful for my cousins, Susie and Louie. I mean, they did a ton for us, a ton. Thank you guys for doing that too, by the way. Again, I appreciate it very much. But, you know, yeah, but you know, like I don't know. You know, like is this a thing that goes on in this country, that they don't help people that have problems like this? You know, if there's plenty of money out there for disasters, but a house fire isn't considered a disaster.
But it is a disaster.
Of course, it's a disaster. I mean, it's destroyed your everything. You know. So I'm trying to make this goddamn camera work.
Oh Lord, you look like a hologram.
Whoa.
You look like Quantum Leap.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's better. What?
Yeah.
Like that. Oh.
So everybody say hi to my sister, the senator in Delaware's wife, Eric Buxton. Hey, Jen.
Oh, like Jen, his wife. Oh, we'll have to make a senator like the Jetsons, but we'll have to make it the senator. The senator, Jen, his wife. So that's right, and they send millions to the Ukraine. You got that damn right. Yep, absolutely. It's bullshit. So that's I'm going to get on that endeavor, because I know I'm not the only person out there that this is happening to. So, you know, that's the facts there.
Dr. Death says, what does he do now? Like, I don't know. I told him to reach out to you because I have no clue.
God damn, I'm up here, you piece of shit. Where did he lose? He lost his appeal to his TPR?
Yes.
Well, I mean, this is where the Rule 60 comes in, right? This is where we 60 it. Give her the old 60-er. And try to fight back that way. I mean, or you can do, there's British Territory, there's mandamus, there's to get to those though, you have to annihilate the courts already. You have to go through the steps of the court. You got to make sure that you've exhausted all of your other avenues. So I don't know if you've done a 60 yet, but to get into those writs, you have to do that. So you need to go back and file. You need to look at what you have filed, what you have done, what courts you've gone to, what is available to try in your cases. Go through those, and then you can establish what is next. That's really what you have to do. Depends on what you want to do and try to fight for, because they all come with this freaking camera. They all come with I'm gonna try to do something here. Hold on a second. Can't just block it out, Mary. Thank you, Mrs. Tech Lady. Let's see here. Sorry. So yeah, sorry about that. Just this is annoying the shit out of me. What you have to do is just what I said. You got to go through and find out what each court says, what each court has said that you need to, what you have to establish to move up the ranks. So I'm going to guess that the Rule 60 is open for you still. So you go back, look at that. It's a Rule 60B, and that will tell you what you need to do. There's 7 different options, I believe, for the Rule 60. Ineffective counsel, new evidence. I swear to God. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's this thing. Got one of these little funky. Let's see if it's this bad boy too, because I got the power. So I'm wondering if that's what's drawing the camera over. So there's ineffective counsel, Rule 60, on the Rule 60. Evidence. It's not that. He still wants to go look at something. This is really pissing me off.
He said he only lost in state court. Only haven't been to the state Supreme Court. Actually, if Onyx could reach out to Dr. Death, because Onyx actually got a federal docket number today.
Oh, shit, nice.
Maybe he can help you.
But the federal courts won't rule in they won't rule in favor of they won't change your custody petitions. They won't give you your kids back. They won't rule against the lower courts that way. They'll rule on an issue that you find unconstitutional. You know, like if they lack of due process, for instance, you know, like something like that, they'll rule on, but they can't. I don't know if it's that they can't, but they won't overturn the. Do you see this thing? It's got a lazy eye or something. Look at it. Look at it.
It's got a lazy eye, all right.
Yeah.
Are we letting people join?
Yeah,
Did you put that? Mason, turn that off. Okay. No, but it's the abstention, or what is it? The abstention doctrine? No. And the youngster? Youngster?
Youngster, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So they won't let you do it because we did that when we did the habeas in federal court,
Right.
which they said that. So supposedly, even though I got around all of that, it was like, you can't bring it because it's custody, which technically, if you want to get technical, it's supposed to be habeas is for somebody who is in custody by a state court order. Am I wrong?
It says detention, right? It says imprisonment or detained or something like that, right? Isn't that what it says?
Yeah, by a court order.
Held against their will or some shit, right?
Pretty much. Well, then I got every excuse in the book. It was that, they're not in a custodial facility. And they aren't they weren't in a custodial facility, and they weren't in custody as in habeas. They weren't in the sense of custody for habeas purposes. But they're literally being held by a state custody order.
Yep.
And they ruled that it had to be, they weren't held in a detention facility. They weren't in jail. They were with a family, a relative. So they weren't considered in custody of the state. So there's that. And federal.
Onyx, hold on, Becca. Onyx, click the link and come in. Go ahead, Becca.
This has nothing to do with custody.
Right.
Constitution. That's true. Yeah, you
let
can
him
bring
in. Let him in if he comes in.
Okay, I will.
Right.
Yeah,
the whole
you can-
point of this, you go to the federal courts, is that they're constitutional issues that they're going to rule on.
Mm-hmm. And see, and my federal judge looked over all of that. It didn't matter. He was like, you brought it for custody, so it doesn't matter. Well, that's not the case either, because you're allowed to bring constitutional violations to the federal court, whether it's in custody or not.
But here's the question. The federal courts won't overturn custody of the kids, right? Like
Correct.
Is it because they can't or because they won't?
It's because they can't. It's because they don't have. So it's a state federal court. So they don't have because they don't dabble in that whole area of the law, as far as, because the states are actually given the states are sovereign. So the states are given their own electives to how they run family court, and the federal court is not supposed to intervene in family matters.
I believe that's a good explanation, Rebecca.
Well, here's my thing. They know that these state courts are fucking up. Somebody needs to get involved.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that we fought over this stuff. We did all of this already. We had a civil war. We did all of these things, and this is what they've established. And I mean, Congress gave the power to the states to make their own little offset courts to determine.
Right, but they're still bound by federal laws. Henry, Henry, click the damn link and get in here.
There, yeah. Youngster abstention. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Do not bar relief. Yeah, in the Anti-Injunction Act. Yeah. Okay, to apply here in the expression. But they so the federal courts, but they don't like to get, they say it's a messy area. So the states were all considered sovereign, and I guess that they have been given, those powers have been given by the federal government to each state, because each state is sovereign from the actual federal government.
So it says, in general, federal courts do not rule on child custody matters under a long standard legal principle known as the domestic relations exception.
Yep.
Federal judges typically lack the authority to issue or modify decrees related to divorce, alimony, or child custody. These responsibilities are almost exclusively reserved for state courts. But it says that there are a few specific and narrow situations where federal courts might become involved.
Where's my paperwork?
Oh, here we go. All right, well, let's see.
Darren, you remember him, right?
I remember, honest. Of course I do.
What up? So let me get my paperwork, because I don't like talking shit. I like that paperwork to back it up. So not only did I put in the tort to let them know I'm coming for them, right? They got mad because, remember, I'm suing 2 states, Connecticut and Massachusetts, because see, this was not anything that had to do with custody. This is a constitutional violation. Amendments were violated, constitutional rights were violated. I mean, they took my son at gunpoint from the hospital. They had no judge signature, no warrant, no probable cause. So I started to do my homework, and I contacted the police. I was like, yeah, I want the police report. They said there's no police report. How you came over 20 deep and you put a whole hospital on lockdown, pulled out your gun, had my family locked in an elevator, and you telling me there was no police report whatsoever? Nah. So they emailed me and just told me the officers that were involved. Even better for me, because when I started following my 1983 individual, I wasn't doing it all together because I already know they have immunity. And then so Attorney General, the Claims Commissioner, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Boston, they all got this. And so Massachusetts was mad today, and they tried to tell me they didn't have it. I'm like, oh, so you didn't get my tort? Okay, no, you didn't. It's all right, because I made 6 copies and I'm mailing them back in there. And they're like, hold on real quick, hold on. And then they were like, oh yeah, we got it. Here's your docket number. I'm like, yeah, don't play with me. So I filed an indice for a waiver form for the Claims Commissioner for the 1983 for Massachusetts, the 1983 for Connecticut, New Haven Federal Court. I got a docket number today. I posted because, you know, everything federal is going to go public. You can see that shit anyway. So I use the 60B already. I've used the 60B. I use when you submit falsified documents to the court, I use that. I use a lot of things, but I wrote up my own shit. So what I did basically was I met the lady who won that 50 million from DCF for their child being killed in custody. And we reviewed a couple things, and I looked at somebody else's 1983, and the difference is, it's like, yeah, they have custodial issues, but mine was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. they violated our rights, something serious. I'm talking about to the point where my kid's mom had a cesarean section, and they walked us out at gunpoint while she was bleeding still. You know?
So out of curiosity, did you guys have like a prior case? That's
the thing. I'm not even from Massachusetts. I've never had a case. I'm not a persistent offender.
The kids have never been like adjudicated like abused, neglected, or dependent?
No. And you know what I think this is? I think this is because my baby mom is a DCF worker in Connecticut too. She sent me a long text talking about, because I got a 51A, so I was like, let me find out what the 51A is about. So I looked at the 51B with the insider's information, and they basically said somebody put a complaint. So I was like, nah, FOY, I'm trying to find out who did this, because there was a situation while I was leaving that same exact hospital, and somebody started shooting at their own kids, and I intervened. So I got locked up for 1 year and 4 months. They arrested my dog, but it's the same police station that I won that case from. And then a little while later, obviously, if somebody called for 51A and they called the police already know, oh, this is the dude that just beat this case and humiliated us. Because I called the police station. I went on live, like, I'm coming for you. You know what I'm saying? 401k, house lien, everything. I called the newspaper, like, yeah, remember the dude he supposedly said it was doing the shooting? The hero, he's out. You know what I'm saying? So now as retaliation, my lawyer told me this is what they did. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I actually called the commissioner myself. It's like, oh, I remember your name. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. You know,
yeah, just
shitting on my name in the newspaper, nothing like that. After I had got the docket number, I've been getting harassed left and right. You know what I mean? But after I had got the docket number today, now I'm getting phone calls talking about, oh yeah, oh, where's your child? This, and the third. That has nothing to do. I don't have no custody issues. I don't have no persistent offender. I got no child abuse. I even got a letter from DCF that says that I'm not on the neglect list. So, I mean, it's a little bit different than everybody else's because they actually violated constitutional rights. And they say it inside the motion. I think I uploaded before. It says kidnapping right on it.
Does it really?
Yeah, right. Word for word, kidnapping. I put the video up there too. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what Massachusetts said. You cannot steal a child from another state. You kidnap the child.
NCCJA, their jurisdiction is different than Connecticut because they're Commonwealth, but I'll fuck them. Fuck them.
So wait, so you're saying that the Commonwealths don't apply? They don't. The UCCJA doesn't apply to them?
No, because that's Connecticut. So what I found out is they have something similar with the MCCJA, but either way, even the tribal try to take my son Blackfire. And I'm like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that because that's going to prolong the inevitable and go to federal court. Like, no, give me my son. So they gave us a son back. But my thing is now this, the harassment is something serious to the point where one of the federal lawyers gave a cease and desist to stop contacting us. And they still been harassing to the point where this door right here, the day we got Blackfire back, they put their foot in the door, Connecticut. Remember, he came from Massachusetts and he was held hostage, basically. Right. I told her, I have my lawyer, check it out. I have my lawyer wait in the closet. I told her, like, please, I have a feeling something's going to happen. I know this sounds weird. Please wait in my closet. Sure enough, I was like, if you don't move your fucking foot, you're going to lose your foot. I was like Malcolm X with the AK-47 holding the baby. Like, go ahead, try to take my baby now. Shit. Nah, the thing is, you know, I hate to bring this up, but the whole weirdo Weigel shit, he misled a lot of people. And he tried to embarrass me because he didn't think I know what I was talking about. Like, I studied law for the last now 10 years, but I only dabbled with the family for about 1.5 years because of my son's situation. But my thing is now this motherfucker was just accumulating members with no short shot plan, with no plan that even worked. So I'm like, yo, I went on his live one day and I'm like, yo, what you're doing is just accumulating followers, but what do you have as a contingency plan? You're giving false hope to a whole bunch of these people, but you never even won. I actually won in court. And he's like, oh, you're bothering us. He's from over here. So we had a phone conversation. I'm like, yo, bro, why don't you meet up with me and my people, my father's initiative program? My father's initiative program was this. Because it's like, number one, I hate people taking advantage of families. I've never charged nobody for filing a motion for them a waiver fee, nothing like that. To look up information. My people still call me from jail daily because they need help with their legal shit. I'm never once try to charge people what you doing. And then I know I'm not gonna say her name because y'all just interviewed her, but within 3 minutes of talking to her in a desperate disposition, she tried to charge me $100. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do all this myself. All I did was, here, look at the information. Not, oh, I need help with this, I need that. No, I'm trying to provide awareness like everybody else does a campaign and they put it out there like, no, this is real shit. Even the news didn't want to take this because once I sent them the paperwork, they were like, oh, we don't want to get anybody in trouble. Like, all right, cool. If you covering over the shit, then you the problem too.
I had the same experience with ProPublica. I literally sent all this stuff to them, like told them like I have evidence of like every state, like how they, you know, how they corroborate with each other, and like how the prosecutor or the juvenile court judge, how the sheriff's department, the hospital, the schools, how they all coordinate together in each state. And I said, I have all of this. I mean, I have them all. And I'm like sitting here like, here. And I tried to give it to them. They said, oh no, this is out of our bandwidth. That's what they're working with.
I talked to the attorney general. I talked to the mayor. They were like, no, this is outlandish. Oh, yeah? What does it say? The police came to my house like a week ago. Oh, DCF doesn't kidnap kids. I went right in his face like I was about to fight him. I was trying to mind my business. Because it was dealing with my baby mom and her kid. But I was like, nah. This says kidnapping right on it, motherfucker. There ain't shit you gonna tell me. It says kidnapping right on it. What you do to people. That reminds me of the Donald Trump situation that's happened with the Epstein file. You know, a whole bunch of pedophiles, a whole bunch of motherfucking killing kids and eating kids, but you ain't doing shit about it.
Yeah, not one damn thing.
Even if there's allegations, you ain't even looking into it.
Nope.
This shit gets me mad. Yo, the shit gets me mad. I feel like I'm gonna be one of these people that's gonna go out with the AR and be like, release everybody's kid. Make a prime example.
We were just talking about this today.
I have now. You were on the show like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I have stayed friends with you, and I comment on all your shit. Do I not?
Yeah, you do.
Have I ever asked you for a dime?
No, I didn't expect you was, because real recognize real.
I love you so
I know.
much.
I literally do the same thing. I post in Facebook groups like, if you guys need help, like just let me know. And then I have people messaging me like, oh my God, like, well, how much do you charge? I'm like, no, I don't charge.
But the groups are being infiltrated by 4 major people. I don't know if you noticed, because you could see them in it, and 2 of them have fake dummy accounts. So it don't matter if I ain't gonna say their name, but they still on it because I was friends with the person and I know one of them.
Say their names. Say their names.
Connie Raguli.
Weirdo Weigel. Jessica Saxton. Okay, because I can screenshot it and put it up there, and I know it's her account because I actually talked to her on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can't even pronounce his fucking name. I'm gonna start going back and screenshot them. Like, beware of these people.
Connie Raguli.
But you know, and what's that lady's name? Older woman, Kano or whatever.
Connie Raguli.
There's about 4 people in Connie's group that was in my other group that got exposed too, and one of them is a CPS worker. Like, well, ain't working there no more. But either way, what you're doing is just infiltrating.
Yep.
Francesca Amato.
Francesca.
What I wish I could do is expose my baby mom, because I've literally been with her where she was like, oh, I don't like this chick. Tomorrow I'm taking her kids. Like, you are the devil. Like, I'm literally like, not only that, there's been racist shit that happened.
Like, how do you do that as a parent? You know what I mean? Like, as a mother to your own children.
No. This goes besides that. We are both kids in the system, and you vowed, and we both vowed to do this together. I watch the kids. You go to college for this. And what you're doing, you are the root of the problem. You are being the problem that you was trying to fight from the beginning. And you know what she told me? She told me they make $3,000 a month just for signing bonus. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And then, long story short, if a child has a disability or he was ever in the system, like a mental health hospital, they get double and triple. So I walked into the courtroom, Springfield Juvenile Court, and I heard this in a group of women. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but these bitches, okay, they were like, did you see his eyes? He has blue eyes. But did you see his skin? But you hear his name, Blackfire. He says, girl, I told you to file that application because we have his brother over here in this state. I was like, wait, what? You talking about my son? They talking about auctioning off my son in the lobby of Springfield Juvenile Court. I spazz them motherfuckers. I went inside the courtroom. It's hard for me to be professional when you're playing with my pups. You know what I'm saying? But I have everything already written down. I do music, so I'm very well aware of, you know, how to be appropriate. I know exactly what to say. I've been in front of 3,000 people on stage. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to be intimidated. What I'm going to do is do my research. I'm going to look at people who failed, and I'm going to look at people who won, and I'm going to cross-reference myself. And then I'm going to file a FOI, and I'm going to file a PRA, a Public Records Act, and I'm going to expose your fucking ass because I'm ugly, not stupid. You understand? If you abuse your authority and you think you got away with it, no. PRA, motherfucker. This just came out like 3 years ago, and I said we could put a Public Records Act and get everything. Oh yeah, we can't do that. Well, you can file a pitches motion so any other victim can come out too, and you can get those reports and use that to get your shit overturned. See the whole shit of abuse of authority. So I talked to another attorney the other day. Like they took my baby mom's kids, the same DCF workers that abuse their authority with Black Fire. Can we get those kids back? 60B. You falsified documents in the court. And there's already a docket number. So not only Ms. Nicole Brooks, who represents DCF, she doesn't have immunity. Why? I keep telling people they don't have immunity once they violate constitutional rights. Even judges. The judge said herself, Dunbar and Shea, I cannot talk in my courtroom. I do not have jurisdiction. I'm glad you said that on for the record. And then you went 6 court proceedings afterwards. Not only that, you violated my ADA. You're talking about my service animal couldn't be there. Bitch, my service animal goes everywhere for the last 10 years. So you kidnapped my son at gunpoint. Then you guys try to cover it up. Then you try to make me look crazy. Like, look, he's a gang member. He runs the gang of the Bloods. He does this. No. We're not doing that shit. You try to give me a gun charge when I was the hero and saved those kids. Then it says it on page 17. I uploaded it. DCF misconstrued it to benefit their case. It says it word for word. Then it goes to federal. So you fucked me over, right? But guess you fucked over a whole bunch of people, because when I was in the lobby protesting, a lot of other people was like, oh, they took my kids too. The interesting thing I heard from this girl, Jennifer, I went into the courthouse and I bought my child back. I said, what the fuck did you say? She said, I went into the courthouse and I bought my child back. And I'm like, explain that shit, because I'm about to go crazy. He said, yo, they make deals here. They make cash deals here. I'm like, yo, that's beyond illegal. That sounds like some slavery shit. Like, you have to explain this. She showed me it. She showed me it. So they wanted me to sign an NDA, a hush clause, right? Why? So other people won't come out? So you can keep on getting away with this hand and fist making money? Or you doing some mafia shit? So it would be wrong if I take my members and start accumulating numbers and going against y'all. Because think about it. Y'all think you think this new war is going to start over there? No, this new war is going to start revolution over civil, over families. Think about it. It's not about, oh yeah, they deporting criminals, they deporting immigrants. No, they started families over here to live the American dream, and now you breaking up families left and right. No, believe me, they're coming to bear arms and overthrow the government with our motherfucking guns, and it's going to be over family. I guarantee. I feel it in my stomach every fucking day. And it's making me violent and more violent and more violent. I hope I don't get the money in that time, because if I get my money at that time, I'm not sorry. It says that we can overthrow our government.
It's our duty. And I do want to address Jen Brabson, who's commenting. Connie Reguli, this is fact. She does not tell people. She was a lawyer for 30 years.
Fuck.
That woman was a lawyer for 30 years. And she fails to tell people about this between a lawyer and CPS and how parents fall into this trap. She knows how it works. That's a fact.
Yeah, but I think that she's trying to reconcile that, right? I really do believe that she's trying to reconcile that. But I want to go back to him for a minute.
People that. But you know what I mean? She's not telling her people that. You know what I mean? Like, if you know the answer to the question, why not answer it? Essentially.
I think his phone died or something. Is because he was something happening.
Oh, he said my phone's at 1%. And he did win his case in Massachusetts. I remember, in Massachusetts, their Supreme Court told, I don't know what it's called up there. It's not CPS, but anyway, told the CPS lawyer. Actually, one of them asked the CPS lawyer, because I watched the whole thing. So you're telling me if a woman lives here or in Kansas and is on her way here, right? Talking about Massachusetts,
Mhm.
and she stops in another state to have a baby, that state can go into that state, or something to that effect. And they were like, yes. And they said, absolutely not. You don't have jurisdiction.
I literally sent you a
kidnapped
video of them
the
stipulating that
child.
woman had birth. Yeah, gave birth in freaking in Wisconsin, or she was from Wisconsin. She gave birth in Illinois, and they came and they stole her kid. And I'm like, hold up a minute here. Like that's not even remotely even correct. I mean, she was literally passing through to go to her home state, and she went into labor, and they literally came in and said, "Oh, we think you're doing drugs," and took her child. And then it was unsubstantiated later on, and they still don't have their kids back. And I'm sitting here like, are these people serious? Like, you don't even have the jurisdiction to even take those kids, let alone even attempt it, just because they got a thought. They literally needed to meet their quota. So they took this lady's kid, and literally these babies still are not with their parents. And the one couple literally freaking stipulated 6 years before this. And literally they were having their baby in the hospital. CPS showed up and said, we're here to take your child. And they're like, dad's like, you need a warrant. You ain't got a warrant. You can't just take my kid. Yes, I can. Oh, you can. And then the cop comes in. She's like, there's allegations of neglect. There's no abuse. There's nothing. The mom's telling him this, and he says, ma'am, you're going to have to argue that in court. Motherfucker, I wish you would tell me that. Cop or not, how dare you? Like, you tell this woman who's, and literally bawling her eyes out, weeping as he's taking her child from her. Like, and I'm sitting here like, what? Just, did he just fall and bump his head? Because, I mean, I don't think I would have been able to keep my shit together. And literally it goes into the news covered it. And it was that they stipulated 6 years before, and they had stipulated with CPS, and this literally goes into it. They stipulated with CPS to say that all of the facts that CPS had alleged were true. So then they essentially didn't have a trial, and their attorney never told them this. Their attorney never told them what rights they were waiving, never told them that all of the allegations that CPS has against you is then truth on the record. So people need to start really thinking about that and going back and being like, whoa, wait a minute here. That's right there is where it started. They say, don't contract, don't do nothing, don't sign anything. You don't have to sign it. It literally doesn't even show up on a piece of paper, because your lawyer does it for you and then tells you that your child is going to be found dependent, abused, neglected. And then you go into court, and the judge technically is supposed to confirm on the record that you understand the rights that you're waiving and what you're agreeing to. Now, the judges don't do that. 100% they don't do that. They didn't do it in my case. Because when I found out all this information, I thought back to my case, and I was like, wait a minute here. I remember that exact day that my attorney came in and was like, well, they're going to find that the kids are dependent. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, am I in trouble? Like, what is, and it was, no, it's just a broad definition, and that's just what they're going to do. I'm like, I didn't know, but he didn't advise me of my rights to a trial. He didn't advise me of what rights I was going to be waiving, that I wasn't even allowed to submit evidence that could contradict them. And here I am. And I mean, now when I started reading this, because I literally learned what this was from a transcript from my friend who lives in Illinois, where those women just had their babies taken, and there was stipulation. The state's attorney said it in a transcript. And I was like, what is that? I was like, stipulation to adjudication. I was like, what is that? And I was like, so I looked it up, and I said, oh my God. I called her back in because she lost her rights. She got TPR'd. And she was like, I don't know how. She's like, they would never let me present evidence. They wouldn't let me do anything. She's like, I had all this evidence to disprove everything they were saying. She's like, and they wouldn't do, my attorney didn't do anything. And I called her, and I was like, that's why. Because you essentially stipulated, or your lawyer did it for you. And then, but me, myself, and I would go back and be like, ineffective assistance of counsel. I mean, there has to be something that they can do. because essentially they're not, I mean, you weren't advised. How's that not an effective assistance of counsel?
Well, there's different prongs that go with an effective assistance of counsel. I think it's called the Strickland standard.
Mhm.
And there's certain places that you have to meet, certain things that you have to meet that make the ineffective assistance of counsel. You can't just say that you told them something and they didn't do it or something along those lines. Let me look that up, what they are.
But I
I'm
mean,
pretty
it's not advising the client of their rights and what essentially they are agreeing to.
Yeah, I mean that should be first and foremost. Obviously, I mean that should be that.
And especially when you don't even find anything.
Well, like here up in Maine, it's called your jeopardy hearing. You get your jeopardy hearing. Well, that's them stipulating with you, as you would say.
Yeah.
And they say that you can't fight that. You already have to. They're calling you guilty. You're saying you're admitting your guilt to this. You can change the language of it, but you can't change what they're doing. That's what they do up here. So they get you in this thing that they call a jeopardy hearing that the judge rules on, and you can try to change the language, but not the things that they're saying that you're found guilty on. So yeah, it's the exact same. I don't know what they call it in other places or other states or whatever, but yeah, I mean,
they call it a dependency hearing or a dispositional hearing. Disposition.
And then once that happens, that's it. You're labeled. You're done. It's over. You've already admitted your guilt to this whole thing.
And then years later, if you have, and even if you get your kids back and years later you have another baby, they can still come back in on the allegations from the last time because you stipulated, because you agreed. So now that's an ongoing thing.
They got you in the loop. Let's see what classic CPS corruption has to say. She's won. Winner.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm loving this conversation tonight. She is like reading our story. Our first attorney did this to can you hear me?
Yep, you sound good.
And
hold on 1 second. Becca, mute your mic.
All right, all you, ma'am.
Are we good?
We're good. Yes, go right ahead.
Perfect. So our first attorney did exactly what she's describing now. Totally snowballed us, didn't tell us what we were agreeing to, kind of what the process was. He did the same thing, came out and told us, well, they're going to find one of your 2 children dependent. And I said, what are you talking about? How's that even possible? One, how is one dependent and the other is not? We homeschool our children. We have 7 children. We only had 2 in the house at the time. 5 are adults. And I said, that doesn't even make sense. We have the same structure, the same life. We eat the same foods. They have the same curriculum. Their life is, there's an age difference between them. But their life is exactly the same. How can one be dependent and the other one not? It doesn't make sense. And the reasoning was because one of my children is adopted from the foster care system.
So
it
makes a difference?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. So they get an extreme amount more money to reintroduce a child who has been previously in the system. They get additional bonuses. Also, at this time, we were in North Georgia. We're not anymore. We moved out of Georgia because we don't play in Georgia.
Thank God, get out of Georgia. Don't ever go
yes, you taught me something, Darren. Thank you. So we found out that there was a project that was going on in Tennessee, just about 2 or 3 hours north of us, and it was specifically looking at children who had previously been adopted out of the foster care system and then reintroduced to the foster care system, and they were looking for more people to observe and drug and do whatever they do during these kind of trials. And my son was the perfect candidate because he was adopted along with his two siblings when he was 2 years old. He was 14 at the time. This was last year. So I call myself a repentant foster adoptive parent, not knowing then what, kind of what role I was playing, what part I was playing in the system, how disgusting it is. I'm now friends with the birth families, and I'm telling each of them, like, you all have a case. You all got to get on Darren's AI. Everybody needs to get educated about how they've been bamboozled and how their kids have been kidnapped from them.
I keep freezing, and I don't know why, but well, we're having a storm here. So I understand what you're saying, right? Because, like, I was good enough to raise at that time my oldest and my youngest, but not my middle child, right? Okay. And then I had a baby in the middle of this case that they never touched. But they said to me, well, you can raise those three, but you can't raise her because you just aren't going to make enough money. Are you fucking kidding me? This boils down to money. So that's how my daughter got adopted. They TPR'd me. And that's what they told me. I could raise my other three, but not her. So I understand. Unbelievable. And people didn't believe me.
We have, of our 7, 4 are adopted, all out of the foster care system. Our oldest, our first adoption is our oldest daughter, and then the other 3 were a sibling group. So the oldest daughter, I've come to realize, now 15 plus years later, almost 20 years later, that she was also removed from her family basically because of poverty.
Wow.
And that the money that they had spent on foster homes for her before she ended up at our house in an adoptive home, and adoption homes also come with adoption assistance. The money doesn't stop when fostering stops. And we didn't know that when we adopted our first daughter. We actually were at the signing table with the attorney, and we were so excited. We're doing the Lord's work, and we're adopting kids, and we think we're doing the right thing.
Right. Meantime, they're really stolen kids, and you don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
But what did they come after you for? What was their reasoning for coming after you? Like, here you're an approved foster parent. You're all of this stuff. Everything's great. Why did they come after you?
So my husband and I had made a decision to end my relationship with my parents about 12 years before this. The middle child of the sibling group adoption had left for college, and she decided to contact my biological parents. Anyway, they made a report because she wanted to go live with them. She was having a hard time understanding, and understandably, how to be an adult now, have an adoptive family, have estranged family, to be back in her biological family's life. It was a lot for her, a lot. Anyways, my parents, whom I had not had any contact with, they had not been in my home or spoken to any of my children for almost 12 years at this point, made a phone call to CPS. My mother was a volunteer with CASA in a different county, and she made a phone call to the county we were living in and made ridiculous allegations about us that made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And because of these allegations from these people who had not been in my home or had any contact with myself, my husband, or my children for over a decade, they issued a search warrant. So CPS left. CPS got the call. They went immediately to Bartow County Sheriff's Department, which my son works for the Sheriff's Department.
Jesus.
And he did not know. They got a search warrant to search our home, and they got an arrest warrant for myself and my husband. The charges, the actual charges read that the children were not provided with televisions or cell phones. And because of that they had no, quote, contact with the outside world.
What?
We also, they had a great basement apartment, like a second level apartment. The main level was the top level, and then the basement was a full finished apartment with a kitchenette,
Whatever they need, right.
you know, everything they need. They had it was awesome, totally awesome, full bathroom, everything. So on the charges, the detective that arrested us wrote that we had locked the food away from the children. Now, again, this is a downstairs apartment, and in that apartment we had a chest freezer, which you pay extra for, so they lock, so the children don't get locked inside of it.
Right.
And that's part of our charges, is having a locking freezer.
Wow. Holy smokes.
For downstairs. And that's literally, like, it doesn't say we beat our kids, we starved our kids. It doesn't say that they were sexually abused. None of this stuff. It literally says they didn't get cell phone. They didn't have open access to internet, because you guys don't let your kids get addicted to porn, or you won't allow them to watch TV shows or have relationship interactions that you don't know what adults or other people they're talking to. That's a crime.
Wow. That case is dropped, right?
No, the case is not dropped.
Oh my God.
My children are home.
Right.
My son still works for the sheriff's department that is charging us.
Wow. That must anger him something fierce.
Oh, he's mad. And it's his belief that it should have been actually escalated, because he was listed as one of the, quote, victims.
Oh, wow.
So all of my adopted children are listed as victims.
Even the ones that weren't there at the time.
Correct.
Wow.
I would love to have a lock on my freezer so that my grandkids, if they ever went in my freezer, didn't fall in that bitch.
You do not know how many times I've been like, I was trying to use that block of cheese. I had a recipe in mind, and one of my teenage boys done cut it up and passed it out. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But that's life. But they twisted our normal life and the love and care that we've given all of our children. And they tried to skew it as if there were some difference between this child or that child for me or for my husband. And that wasn't the case, because we didn't know when we got into this. We just went in with good hearts.
Right.
What we know now, obviously, everything's different. But they skewed it. They would not let it go that this child is adopted and this child is not adopted. And it was so important to them to have access to the adopted child because of this program that was going on in Tennessee. And they needed him, and they transferred him. For 14 days, he spent in that program, in a facility, in a boys' home, before we finally got him back. They vaccinated him against his will, told him he had to be vaccinated in order to go to that. They had to put him in public school. We're homeschoolers.
Yeah.
But we had not lost our parental rights. They did not. They contacted us. They contacted me when he had like a sniffle, and they had to get him some nasal spray. They sent me an email. They sent me an email when he had a dental visit. But they neglected to mention that they had given him only 2 vaccinations, one for an STD
What?
for an non-sexually active 14-year-old. He got an STD vaccination. And the other was the Tdap shot, which his biological brother had previously been paralyzed by from Guillain-Barré syndrome. And he asked them specifically not to administer these things to him. And they told him too bad.
Wow. That's crazy. What can we do to help you with this stuff? This is crazy. This is absurd. Like, there's got to be something.
It's absurd. So what I need is really, I need some guidance for how to, my fight is so that my kids don't have to have this fight later. Right? If I don't take it up now, I know I get it. I'm one of the lucky ones. Whether I'm one of the lucky ones, my kids are home. I get it. And which is why it's like people like me, our voices, the people who have won the fight. I think that voice is almost a little bit louder when you go after these caseworkers, when you go after these rogue judges and these attorneys and these people, that you almost have a little bit more footing. Mm-hmm. It's unfair, and I don't think it's right, but that's the reality of how the world works, right? From their perspective, when somebody says, well, my kids, I don't have my kids, and so I'm fighting, they're immediately kind of put off, and they think that you're fighting for, and you are fighting for your kids, 100%. But the fight is about other things too. It's about injustice. It's about constitutional rights. It's about my ability to live my life and have somebody drop off a freaking package on my front door without panicking that the blinds are open and my kids are walking by, and anybody, whether you've had contact with my family for the last 10 years or you saw me walking down the street today, can make an anonymous phone call, and my whole life can be turned upside down, and my children's lives can be turned upside down. And everybody, they really acted like, well, you're just really worried about your biological kid. You're worried about your biological kid. And my main concern was for my son, who had been through this before.
Right. To re-traumatize
and the trauma, the amount of trauma, what they put these kids, and my husband and I too, he's sitting next to me, but we just, like, sometimes you can't breathe, and the charges aren't dropped. My kids are home. We haven't been found abusive or neglectful, and yet these charges are still pending. And that doesn't make any sense. I've lost my professional license because of it. I had to drop out of my PhD program. It's been crazy. We had to sell our farm. Everything you all know. I'm preaching to the choir, right? I mean,
so
yeah.
But what I really want to do is go after specifically the caseworker that forced my son to be vaccinated.
Yeah,
I want to start there on his behalf. Also, our safety plan. My kids, there was never a case plan. My kids were under a safety plan because they arrested us.
Right.
And when they arrested us, my son was present. My adult sons were present. And I said I wanted my children to go with them. They told me no, they can't go with them. That the only way that they would go with them is if you sign the safety plan. Otherwise, they're going to foster care. And I know now, of course, that isn't true. My adult children had every right to take care of my children until I returned home.
Right. How long did they keep you in jail for that?
Well, for 3 days the first time. So my parents neglected to remember one of my children because it had been 10 years. So they only mentioned 3 of our adopted children when they made the initial call. And so after having arrested us on 3 counts of child cruelty in the first degree.
Wow.
Then they realized, for not having a cell phone, They didn't came back 3 days after we were released. They tricked us. CPS tricked us, had us come into their office for a meeting and arrested us a second time for our fourth adopted child.
What the? Wow. Holy shit. That's terrible. That's some. I don't even know what to say. That's got me speechless. That's Tiff. What do
It's
we?
been crazy.
Yeah. So what? How do we help you? How do we help you?
What helps me is helping the cause. What helps me is lighting a fire and a path for everybody else who's fighting this fight, because I don't sleep at night. My kids are home and I eat, sleep, and breathe this. I'm helping somebody now who he's got 5 boys. He was out of town and they're trying to keep his kids. I think he's going to get them back in about 2 weeks. Everything's looking good that he's going to get his 5 sons home.
Oh, wow.
But I eat, sleep, and breathe this ever since this happened to me. It's been a year, January 17th, so 14 months. And I don't stop. I irritate the shit out of my husband. He's like, classic, please. Like, can you put the computer down? Can you quit watching that? Can you quit going through that? Can you quit looking up case law? Can you quit reading it? And I kick myself in the butt all the time. I went to school for professional counseling. I'm at the dissertation of my PhD, and I'm like, why did I not go to law school? I so could have gone to law school.
So we need to give you a place to have your voice, right? So that's what you need.
Absolutely.
Well, hang out here. Let's kick this show off and hang out here for a second. All right, hang out in the back. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Well, I think we know where this one's going to head to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I'll stay on.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Becca's there too. I'm sure she's going to hang out. She'll be there, blistering away. Man, that's a hell of a story, and I think we got ourselves a new voice, Tiff, for the channel. So everybody, we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow, and we're gonna go talk to Classic and see what the hell we can get her on here talking some stuff, because this is great.
Yep. Yeah, I keep freezing everybody, but good night.
We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place.
In 1776, brave men put up a fight, mowing down redcoats. They wanted freedom. They had to fight, and now we take the sacrifice in vain. They loaded their muskets, fired them one by one. That's why we have the freedom to own a gun, but we are blowing it. These freedoms were created by those before us. They were to be something that stays. But now things are so corrupted, they're taking our rights away. Hey, Uncle Sam, where did you go? I called Washington today, but nobody's home. We all want to stand for our freedom, but nobody wants to do it today. Can't you see time is a waste and the Constitution we love is fading? Don't tread on the reality, or the USA will be the next casualty. We are here for freedom, those we will protect. Unite for the values we cherish, but watch everything perish. Our men have fought for our freedoms, many women have too. Their blood spilled upon the ground, with the news many frown. They paid a price that many won't pay, now we are letting the cause fade away. The graves are being neglected by the actions of so many deceptive. The freedoms they fought for in every world war, conflict or mission. So many stayed behind signing petitions, while those away dying were there to protect them. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are taking our children more and more every day. No soldier ever fought for taking our children away. This is not why they bled for our freedom. They didn't die for some cheap pay. We all need to come together and fight this corruption, and it starts today. We need to wake up America, go back to parades, remember true family values, laugh again as children play. These are the things we fought for, 200 years strong, but now we're losing all of this. Don't tread on me does exist. So rise up and be strong. We don't have to go along. We need to push back now, like our forefathers did. It's time to bring back the way it was, when families lived together, all that mattered was love. It's not always easy to take back what they have grabbed. With all of us together we can do it, to loving children and mom and dad. This is our country, it's called USA. So many have fallen, say don't tread on me today.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?